Hello, my friends. Welcome back to our stories that Jesus told to teach us lessons, also known as parables of Jesus. I'm Pastor Mark of Clinton Avenue Reformed Church in Bergenfield, New Jersey. And we're at the end of August already. This summer went by way too fast. Next week will be our last parable. And after that, we're going to start a whole new series of Bible stories. And if it gets cooler, then I'm going to get out of my summer outfit and I'll wear another outfit. I know I've been wearing this all summer for you. Today, we are going to talk about the story of the Good Samaritan. What was that? What did you say? Oh, you want to know what a Samaritan is? Okay, good question. Back in Jesus' day, there were, of course, Jewish people living in Israel where Jesus lived. But there were also this group that were intermarried. They were half Assyrian, that was another country, and they were half Jewish. And so these people were called Samaritans. And a lot of Jewish people hated those Samaritans and treated them pretty badly. And the Samaritans, because of this, didn't like the Jewish people very much. So most Jewish people avoided Samaritans, and Samaritans avoided Jewish people. Well, one day, this teacher came up to Jesus and he said, Jesus, what do I need to do to get eternal life? He said, well, you know all the commandments. That's the 10 Commandments. I hope you know them. And you've got to love God with your whole self. You got to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Well, this teacher of the law, he was a little bit prideful. He said, oh, yeah, Jesus. Well, then tell me, who is my neighbor? Well, was he afraid if he loved someone, he didn't have to love, something bad had happened? Why can't we just love everybody, take care of everybody? Well, Jesus, to answer his question, who is my neighbor? He told him this story. He said, once upon a time, there was this man who was going on the road from Jerusalem, that's the capital of Israel, to a little town of Jericho. And a bunch of robbers came upon this person and they beat him and they took his money. Oh, this guy looks like a mess, doesn't he? Wow. Well, when he was laying there on the side of the road, a priest came by, but the priest was afraid to touch him. See, if the priest got blood on his hands, he couldn't do his priestly duties at the temple. And a Levite came by. Now, a Levite, they were the people who helped the priest in the temple. And the Levite said, ooh, I can't get my hands bloody. I won't be able to do my work at the temple because they would have been considered unclean. But now a Samaritan came by. Remember them? The people the Jews didn't like, and the Samaritans didn't like the Jews. Well, he came by and he saw this man in great distress, and he put him on his donkey and he brought him to an inn. That's a hotel. And he cleaned the man's wounds out and he bound the man's wounds in bandages. And the next day he had to go about his business. So he gave some money to the hotel keeper and he said, you take care of him. When I come back, if I owe you more money, I'll pay it. You take care of this man. And so the Samaritan, well, he believed that everyone he saw in need was his neighbor. And he put his time into it, he put his money into it, and he took care of this beaten man. Now, it didn't matter if he liked him, he was still a neighbor. He didn't mind if this man who was beaten had not treated him very well. He was still his neighbor. How about you and I? Do we remember this? Everyone who is in need is our neighbor. God requires that we love God with everything we have, our strength, our mind, our spirit. And he also requires that we love our neighbor as much as we love ourselves. Do we remember that? I hope so. See, if someone's in need, we're obligated to go help them. Doesn't matter if we like them or not. It doesn't matter if they're a nice person or the worst little rascal scoundrel on the planet. God requires that we help that person. Here's something else to think about. If you're the one who's hurting on the road, do you care who comes and helps you? You just want someone to help you. Well, you do to those other people exactly like you want to be treated yourself. And you're going to make a great, great positive influence in this world. And God's going to be very pleased with your behavior. What's the story of the Good Samaritan? Everyone in need is someone we need to take care of. And sometimes it's inconvenient and sometimes it costs us a little bit of money, but we're still obligated to do it. First, we love God. Second, we love everyone we see, whether they're in need or not. We take care of them. Well, that's our story for today. Can you believe it? Next week is Labor Day already. The summer's going to be ending, and we are going to be back to school and back to work. Vacations will be over. So let's live this week out really, really well. Have fun. I pray that God will bless you. Do me a favor, please. Like, comment, and share this children's story. I want more and more kids to be watching these. Thank you. From Pastor Mark of Clinton Avenue Reformed Church. God bless you all.